Okay, so after a long, hard day of work, the last thing a man wants to do is take a detour to go buy his toiletries. That's where we step in. We're the Cardboard Box. I'm Cal Mabry, the CEO.
I'm Samuel Bitter, the COO.
I'm Lyle Woods, the product manager.
I'm Austin Canham, the brand ambassador.
I'm Chloe Crawford. I'm the CMO.
Through our problem survey, we have found that many men don't enjoy going to the store to get their toiletries because it takes time out of their busy schedule. They have a lot of options to choose from, and they're not sure what they want.
So the current landscape of different companies that are currently out there are companies such as Dollar Shave Club, Harry's, and Birchbox. They have different price points depending on what products they provide, but they're very limited on the different toiletries. Like Dollar Shave Club and Harry's are mostly just shaving and some soaps, while Birchbox just provides samples. We also realize that Amazon is going to be a huge competitor, but the main difference between us and Amazon is everything on Amazon you're buying at retail price, and you're going to get a better deal through our different box options. Our niche that we have is that all these companies sell their different products. We sell you yours. So for example, if you like Gillette shaving and Old Spice deodorant and soaps, we send it to you once a month based off the survey that you take. We also send you samples based off the survey on what you might like from companies you've never heard of, like Duke Cannon.
Our customer segments are men through the ages 16 to 65, spouses and mothers, and college students, but we're mainly aiming towards spouses and mothers because through our survey we found that they're the ones who are going to the stores or ordering the toiletries for their family.
Our total addressable market is men in the U.S. ages 16 to 65, middle class and above, which is about 150 million men. Our serviceable addressable market is men with the same criteria living in Texas, which is about 35 million men. We're going to focus on men in San Antonio, which is about 270,000 men. Our marketing plan is to use social medias like Instagram and Facebook, while also putting flyers out at schools and gyms just to get our word around.
So our average cost per box sold is about $23. We plan on selling that box for $35 with a profit margin of 35%. That would vary depending on the type of box you decide to purchase. In year one, we plan on making $65,000, and then in year two, we would up that to $95,000 with a 30% growth rate as we expand our marketing outreach to other parts of Texas.
Our MVP testing plan would be the Wizard of Oz method, where the customer would buy the product on our website, and we would, behind the scenes, go out, buy it from H-E-B or Target, and then drive it to their house or ship it. We define our success through our sales and how many boxes we can get sold on our website. Our timeline is the first 2 weeks, we plan on making our website, making it e-commerce friendly and ready for people to buy different boxes. The next 2 weeks, we'll start our advertising campaign where we would go on social media and put out our flyers on different colleges and schools. Then we would start getting boxes sold, put together, and driven to their house or shipped. We are asking you for $500 primarily because we want to spend $100 on our website, which will last us 4 months, which is the end of the school year, running at $25 a month. We also want to use $125 of those dollars for advertisement, mainly on social media campaigns, and then also buying our flyers. We're going to spend $12 on our domain name, and then the rest of the money from the $500 would go to our inventory, which is just gas, our standing inventory, boxes, and then we would also purchase stickers to put on our boxes to make it more of our company.
Thank you for listening to our presentation, and we hope you ship us in the right direction.
No, go. Somebody get it. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Good presentation. Great presentation.
So you talked at the beginning about guys being overwhelmed with all the choices and what should I choose, and it sounds like part of your solution is around the samples being sent. How else do you? I mean, when somebody's starting to use your service, if they're already overwhelmed with all the choices, how are you going to help them figure out amongst all the millions of products, of thousands of products that are available, what do they want to order in their first order?
So they'll go online, as we said, and they'll take our survey, which will ask them questions about the different products they like and how they prefer, feels, all that type of stuff. And and through that, we'll learn what type of products they like and what different ingredients. And then they'll be able to pick from our standing inventory of different brands that we have, and then we'll also ship them samples that they might like, and if they like the sample, they can request that product is put in their next box.
I still think that's going to be hard for somebody who is already overwhelmed and doesn't know what they want, and then tell you what they want, what ingredients they like, what they don't. So I wonder a little bit if part of what gets started is sort of like Stitch Fix, but for these kinds of products, where you all have people curating these boxes and saying, I'm going to send you this box, keep what you like, send back what you don't. The hard part of that, though, is that these things are disposable, right? So as soon as I swipe on the deodorant, you're not going to want it back from me. Anyway, I think you need to think about, like, how do you, I think you've identified an interesting problem. I'm not sure if y'all are all the way there on the solution yet.
Okay, thank you. We'll look into that.
It sounds to me like you've got two problems you're solving. One is the choice, but the second is availability and being knowing that you're going to have shaving cream and deodorant there when you need it. It's a real predictable demand cycle. Most men use the same amount every day, and they do it every single day, the same time of day. And so it's real predictable when they need it. I would really understand Shave Club. I don't think they came up necessarily with a better shave. They made it, and maybe they did. Maybe that was it. And that's something you need to understand. But I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that guys are never out of their shaver because it comes in a predictable method. You're just expanding that to the entire toiletry experience. And I will say it's an issue. My wife doesn't like to inventory that stuff, and when you're out, it's like, wow, I don't have a critical component of my day. So it would be kind of nice, and it's easy to predict. If that is your model, because I mean, quite honestly, I don't know how many, maybe there's a sector of the population of guys that really care a lot about products. Once I get my product, I haven't changed my products in 15 years. Now, maybe that says more about me than anything else, but, but if it is about the logistics piece, you're going to have to figure out, the fulfillment side. There's a lot of different ways to do that. Boxing it and buying it is a good way to start, but ultimately, there's a lot of easy ways to outsource that, and you're just the brand. But understand Shave Club.
Well, I was just going to ask, so you said that your approximate cost per box is $22.90, right? But when I look at the box that you have over here, I see a couple of deodorants, I think a toothbrush, looks like toothpaste, a razor, a comb. I think that might be shoe powder, I don't know, foot powder. So is there a certain amount of, when you say it's $22.90, right, is that for a certain amount of items? Because obviously, the more that you put in there, that cost could go up. So are you going to have different ranges versus just I don't think you can just have one range that says everything's going to be this much. I think you're going to have to figure out, if you want 5 or more products, 3, something where give them. You can customize it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right. So, right.
No.
But to that point, then you can't just assume that your cost is going to be $22.90. So you may, just do a little bit more in the financial model and what that's going to look like, because you are going to have multiple options that will be different price points and things like that.
Yes.
Is that just
Yes, sir.
And is that for how many items?
It was around 5 to 7, I think.
like the
Of the
standard
name brands. This was just a display box to display like the different types of toiletries that we'd be providing, like Old Spice deodorant and that Duke Cannon soap that we were talking
I don't know
about.
what that was, beer soap? Yeah, wait, did you say,
Yes,
I was
sir.
gonna say, are you providing beer? Okay, so I didn't see the soap part. That's a good selling point.
I want to build on that.
Yeah, and that was an idea of ours, is to expand and show different men, different companies like Duke Cannon. I only know a few guys that actually know what Duke Cannon is. And I was just released to it 2 months ago, and I'm obsessed with it. I mean, the aftershave on Duke Cannon, the ice cold aftershave, that's amazing.
The manufacturers are gonna pay, they're gonna see you guys as the way to get in.
Yeah.
They're gonna,
Yeah, we wanted to become retailers
Yeah.
for all these different toiletries, and we wanted to get a low price on them and then expand it out to everyone.
So curation, I think, back to that, the curation is going to be really important to you. That you have people that unlike Mr. Fulton and me, who don't really think about this stuff or care about it, but somebody may be able to influence us to actually go try something new that we haven't tried, right? And so I think that's going to be your key part, is to say, okay, you don't know how to do this. We're going to show you how to do this with somebody who actually does care about this stuff. And to be that sort of marketing channel for these sort of niche brands that he and I don't know about.
Men, but
Yeah.
then I think when you talked about your, who you were really gonna go after, the customer segment was more women. So that's where, I mean, you need to think about
Yeah,
that, because
that's
that was
true,
kind of a
too. Yeah, good point.
contradiction. Because you guys are like, well, we want to show the men, but then you're saying, but we found that the wives are the ones that are doing the shopping. So you may, I would just think through that a little bit, because that's a little.
I was gonna make the same comment. You need to refine
Yeah.
who really is your target market.
Yeah.
And how are you gonna reach them? And so, to Mr. Sauer's point, you guys should take a look at Stitch Fix. It's a totally different, it's fashion for women, but they're doing what Mr. Sauer's suggesting you do. So take a look at what they do.
I have a couple comments. I think what you're really offering here is choice and convenience as a service.
Yes, sir.
I think you have two revenue models. You have a subscription model, which covers a lot of sort of the base costs, and then you have this, sort of upsell ability based on what the products people are choosing. And if they want more of a premium product, then they have to pay for it. But you get them hooked on the service. I think a little contrary to what Mr. Sauer is saying, I'm not sure that guys are awash in product confusion, right? And I mean, even when you're looking at additional new things, I think you have two kind of customers. You have the customer that says, I know exactly what I want. I just want it bundled together and it come to me on regularity. Or when I can trigger, and if I trigger it and it's there in 2 days or a day, whatever, through Prime, however that works, whatever the partnership is with Amazon, whatever you do, I think that's the first customer. That would be me. And then I think you have, a customer that says, I don't know what I want, but I also don't want you to present me with all the choices. So there you go back to what Mr. Fulton was saying, is that maybe you figure a few brands that you partner with, and you give people choice, but not too much choice. Like, here's 5 types of deodorant, here's 5 types of shampoo, 5 types of whatever. Choose, but they're not overwhelmed with choices. And then you partner with a few of those brands to prioritize where they sit on the list. And I think that sort of optionality would be nice, is that, okay, I don't have to go choose. I mean, the way I solve this problem, and my wife hates it, and I get so frustrated when I run out of anything, I will literally go on Amazon and I will order 25 things of aftershave, 50 boxes of Crest, and then I know, hey, for the next 3 or 4 years, I'm not gonna have a problem. And it takes up an entire, and that's how I solve it. Just run through the wall. But I think you've got a couple of, does that surprise you?
I speak more to him than you.
He's got a storage unit. All of his products.
Yes, sir. The ultimate goal is to become a retailer of like 5 brands, like you said, and that would obviously lower the price point of the product. And we'd have whatever brands that we do partner with, we'd have we'd have 5 different types of Old Spice deodorant that they can choose from, and then maybe if they want a sample size one type, they can request that, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Well, and you may be getting too specific on you're going to partner with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to limit yourselves to certain types of deodorant? Because you can go out and fulfill that. I mean, I don't think you want to limit that at all. I think the more men that you can provide, a box of what they want to, and you're doing that with greater and greater numbers, you're going to partner maybe with Old Spice and 3 others that say, hey, drop this free sample in that box that goes to these guys that think they know what they want.
Yeah, I mean, the whole reason we want to partner with them is just for the retail value, and we can get it wholesale, because that'd be a little bit of a niche we could try to fit into is the pricing point. Even though, of course, we're convenient, it's going to your door, and so that'd be our main niche. But if we can get it a little bit down on the price, because right now, I mean, it's expensive for all that stuff, and that's a monthly purchase, and so we want to try to trim that down.
Well, you can also buy in
There's
volume.
wholesalers that do
Yeah.
that stuff for you.
Yeah, we can
You're
we
not
can
gonna
just
go.
yeah, we can partner with a retailer for that company. We don't necessarily have to partner with that company.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Good job.
Thank you.
Well done. Well, yeah.